So, how are we going to do this?
Well, so drones are really popular. I wonder if there's some sort of way we can make our own drone version. It's like an aeroplane, a helicopter and a drone had a child. That is what we're building. A smaller version.
Very modern family.
Yeah.
Ruth Amos is a YouTuber and engineering whiz with a passion for getting young people making things.
I accidentally became an inventor when I was at school, and since then I found this passion and love for making things. And a lot of the things I make are slightly ridiculous.
Shall we sketch it out and get this on paper?
We're putting a fan there. These would lift the aircraft and control it this way, and then once these were generating enough lift, then you could switch these off and fly it as a conventional aircraft.
They are putting rotors in the wings. That's a lot of power to avoid needing a runway so that it can take off vertically. It's really engineering at its most creative. It's going to be hilarious seeing them trying to attempt doing that.
Our Luton Minor scale model is going to replicate the iconic vintage look of the original design with a balsa wood frame. But we're also giving it a very modern reinvention with a plastic vinyl wrap to keep it ultra light. Ruth has suggested using high-tech drone motors in the wings to provide vertical thrust. So no need for a runway, this plane is designed to take off like a helicopter. Once airborne, our radio-controlled Luton Minor will be powered by an electric motor and propeller, and a small camera will give us a bird's-eye view from the cockpit. We're going to need to pull all of our combined skills and ingenuity if we're going to make this idea fly.
Wow, big plans.
Yeah, we managed to get the plans of the Luton Minor.
It's to scale.
Which bit are you going to do first?
This bit.
The wing.
The wing. So you're actually going to glue the plan onto the wood?
Glue the plan onto the wood, and once we've made one, we can use the wood again as the next template.
Right, okay. That makes sense.
We're cutting out balsa wood ribs, which will be glued onto spars to create the wing structure. None of us have actually made a model aeroplane before, so we're relying on Carl to help show us the way. A former Royal Engineer with a passion for mechanics, he's been model making for more than 50 years.
I'm really excited and looking forward to starting building the model. That's my passion, that's what I do. The models I mostly build are ships, military, model buses, but to be quite honest, I've not done the plane. But as long as I've got the plan to work off, I can work it out. Don't cut that piece. We just want to cut that one.
Just round the
Yeah,
outside.
because that's a different part.
I feel like I'm having a model-making apprenticeship from Carl.
Carl, I think, is so expert at making models that he has very high standards. Is a bit daunting.
You want to be cutting it on the outside of the mark.
OK, so you tell me that now?
The parts are coming in, and the parts are completely different sizes, and they're all saying they're doing it right, and there's some couple of them that aren't doing it right. So the parts that we've been cut have to be scrapped and start again.
Carl may be a master of model making, but when it comes to making aeroplanes, Ivan's knowledge is second to none.
When it comes to the wings, what you don't want to do is have one wing that is different. The wings want to be exactly the same, so we work as accurately as possible.
Ivan first began building and flying his own planes as a hobby, but he's since become one of Britain's top aircraft designers.
Nothing I enjoy better than a problem and starting with a blank piece of paper. There's a great joy in actually doing something with your hands and your brain together. It's fabulous.
Oh, this is so fiddly, I've got the shakes. These are going to run through the wings and should give it some structure,
Rigidity.
hopefully.
Just want to...
One of the first rules of project management is always plan ahead, as I always do.
Right, you ready? I'm going to line up at that end.
You right?
Ivan stuck to the plan.
Oh. OK. Oh, do you know what? That is incredibly light.
But it's taking shape. And for such light, flimsy wood, it's a structure that feels kind of solid. It's coming together.
So we're off to a flying start, but we're about to move a bit more out of our comfort zones as we test out the wing's plastic wrapping. You could say we're winging it.
Okay, so we're having a test run. What is the process of heat shrinking? What happens?
Well, it's a plastic film here that we're going to use, and what we're going to do is going to cut a piece, and then we're going to heat gun it and see what happens.
Carl, I'm glad we are in testing mode.
That's a disaster, darling.
It is a disaster, darling. Yeah, I think the wrapping was a complete cock-up. We just all looked at each other thinking, oh my God. It looks like a lollipop, doesn't it?
If all else failed, we can just put children crossing on it.
We're just a few days into our model aeroplane build, and it's becoming clear just how much work lies ahead over the next 3.5 weeks.
Oh, gosh, I am so glad we tested that at this point in the build, because if we had got all the way through to actually building this plane and then shrink wrapped it and it went as wrong as it just did, it would have been a disaster. And so that's good that we've learned that, but it is cutting into our build time and we just don't have that much time.
It's fair to say it hasn't been the best of starts for today's Masters of Reinvention, as our initial attempts to build a replica Luton Minor aircraft in just 4 weeks crashed and burned.
That's a disaster, darling.
So I've arranged for a special VIP guest to give a few of the team some much-needed inspiration.
Coming in from Breton, which is southeast of here, so it shouldn't take him too long. Then again, it's not a fast aeroplane.
I've sent Carl, Ivan and Jacob over to the airport control tower, where there's a surprise on the horizon.
Which direction is it coming from?
It's landing on 24, this runway.
Right, so this is what they built in the sheds.
Yeah,
And this is the one that's in the magazine.
This is it, the one in the mag. Yeah, it'd be nice to see one. I've seen them before, but I've never seen them up close.
There she comes.
Oh, look there.
There he is.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Oh, look at that. Oh, it's landing. That's great.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
There are still around 50 Luton Minors registered in the UK. This particular one, proudly piloted by Andrei Pelisek, was one of the last to be built back in 1965.
Fantastic.
It's even nicer to fly.
Is it?
Absolutely.
Andre, nice to
Hello,
meet
guys.
you.
Nice to
And
meet
Carl.
you. Yeah, she flies beautifully.
Looks
She
good.
only struggles with crosswind, but that's okay.
We've got to build the model of this plane.
Absolutely.
So this is great to actually see what it actually does look like. Step on there.
And then you need to get your foot onto the seat.
Oh, easier said than done.
This is going to be fun.
Once you're in, it's quite cozy.
So that's the flaps,
Ailerons.
ailerons,
Yeah.
and then this is the rudder
That's the one.
control. And this is the throttle here.
That is the throttle, yes?
You'll be able to fly this in half an hour.
You would.
Yeah.
Very easy to fly.
Right. We've got to see you get out now, Carl. Oh, well done.
There we go.
You're fitter than you look.
There you go.
So that's exactly what we've got to put on ours.
Yeah, yeah.
The actual horns.
The model is just the same.
It is exactly, isn't it?
Yeah. Got the lift struts as well.
So we need to look how that is connected to that. I'm really, really looking forward to building the model now. Now we've had an actual insight of the real plane
Yeah.
and we can see actually how it is actually constructed.
Yeah.
Then we've got a good chance
Yeah.
of getting ours to actually get off the ground.
It's all hands on deck in the shed.
I think that side's almost done and then it's just a repeat on the other side, right?
It is, yeah.
Carl and Ruth are working on the rudder for the model aircraft.
It's not in line.
They are in line, they're on your lines.
Look at the state of that.
They're on your lines.
This got to fly.
It will fly. See? There we go.
These are not powerful enough, I can tell you that now. We've got to get 3 of these that will lift the weight.
The drone motors have arrived. These were supposed to give our Luton Minor aircraft vertical lift. But now the wing has been constructed, the team are realising that any drone motor powerful enough to lift the plane will be too big to fit inside the wing.
You see, if we can fly that and it lifts off, that will look spectacular. If it just makes a lot of noise and it doesn't do anything, we're just going to look like idiots.
Ooh, are we dismantling things now?
We are, yes. We'll be discussing putting drone motors on to lift the plane, but then we've looked at the actual wing, the way it's constructed, and if we start trying to put drone motors into the middle of the wing, it's going to weaken it.
So we're just having a discussion about the next steps.
Carl looks a bit worried. So, great idea, wrong size. You seem a bit deflated.
I think it's just there are lots of jobs, but it's not like you can do them all at once.
There's just over a week of build time left and so much work still to do to make this model Luton Minor fly. We can't afford any more mistakes.
At this stage, I am worried.
There's less than 1 week to go before the team need to launch their model Luton Minor into the skies. And it's fair to say, there's still a lot more to do. Having scrapped the idea of placing drone motors in the wings, Ivan and Carl are now adding remote-controlled power steering using electronic gadgets known as servos.
Sit like that, and then one will operate the rudder by pulling it backwards and forwards, and then the other side will operate the tail plane and it'll lift it up and down. Right, get them screwed on and then we can mount the servos.
Sounds like a plan. Even though this is a model, of course, it still conforms to the same laws of physics as a jumbo jet. In other words, it will not fly unless the wings generate more lift than the weight, and it will not fly forward unless the power in the nose is greater than the drag. It's still got to be controllable, even with a model. If that was any better, it'd be perfect.
It's not bad, that, is it?
Yeah, that's good.
Seems it's just been
cobbled together.
Cobbled together. It's actually square.
The motorised steering is all in place, but for some reason, the electronics aren't playing ball.
Something is not making sense here.
Sure, that's not supposed to be that hot. That's red hot, that.
Yeah, there's something wrong there. That shouldn't be hot like that.
Maybe electronics expert Ruth can help work out the problem.
So...
Is it in the wrong channel?
Do you want to have a look, Ruth, and see if we've done something wrong? Hang on. Ivan's done something wrong.
Ivan's done something wrong?
Well, you wired it up.
Can I just confirm? So obviously these have been Wagoed together.
Yeah, just...
Have they been done correctly? Because essentially anything that goes into there is connected.
Not to each other?
Yeah.
Oh,
You mean all three are connected?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's the problem then.
Okay.
I thought these were just independent lines.
No. Right. There's always a point where you do something, you just need someone else to come in and just say, have I done this right?
Here we go.
And so it was like, don't think that's quite how it's supposed to be.
If I just take these out now, it should work.
Yeah, well, actually, nothing to do with me. That was Ivan's little project. All he had to do is wire up the wings, and he didn't do it right, so the thing was going berserk when we switched it on.
Yeah, now they'll work.
Cool, have fun, there you go.
So anyway, it's been rectified and we had a laugh about it, so not my problem. No, I say it wasn't my problem, wasn't my fault. There's nowhere near it. I'm stressed. There's so much work to do and so little time. We've got 4 days. So, yeah, my heart's in my mouth at the moment. We need to move on rapidly.
With the fuselage and wing now complete, it's time to start wrapping the plane in plastic vinyl sheeting, a process that ended in disaster when the team tested it.
We're going to go for white wings and a red fuselage. It's actually an iron, flat iron, and all we do is just rub the iron over the wrap, and you just keep working it, and that's how it's done. So this is the film. What I'm going to do is cut it to size. I'll just cut across there and then run it straight out. And we want to place as square as we can on the covering, and we'll just slowly run the iron on the edge of there. And that should have stuck it to the edge.
There's finally some light at the end of the tunnel, and with everyone doing their bit to get this model Luton Minor plane off the ground, we just might pull this off.
So we're talking 175 degrees
We are.
C in my hands right now.
Yes.
God, it's really satisfying. Oh yeah!
There we go. So let's get the wing on.
Great, guys. Can I just see what it weighs? Wait, look at that. We have an aircraft.
Don't drop it.
Looks just like a Luton Minor to me.
Yeah.
It's the day of reckoning for our Luton Minor aeroplane. With a build time of 94 hours and a cost of £956, it's not the easiest of projects. But as a model replica, it looks fantastic, with stunning colours and a really slick vinyl finish. The electronic components have been painstakingly connected and tested. But it's a build that has been fraught with setbacks and malfunctions, and it remains to be seen if and for how long it will actually fly.
Well, it's a day I've been looking forward to and dreading. I've done everything I can. Everything's in it as it should be. It's all weighted out, so there's no reason why it shouldn't fly.
We've come to the Pontefract and District Aero Modelers Flying Club, where Carl, Jacob and Ruth are preparing for the big takeoff. Sadly, poor Ivan has been struck down with COVID, so he can't be our test pilot.
Oh, she's so beautiful.
Do you think so?
Yeah. I mean, there is actually nothing different from the original Luton Minor, apart from electric, battery operated, right?
Correct.
It also has a little camera in it.
Brilliant. Bird's eye view.
So we got left and right, up there, and then we have up and down.
And how confident are you in this build?
Absolutely no confidence whatsoever.
Oh, come on.
Typical Carl. Typical Carl. No, well done, team. Honestly, it looks fabulous.
Well, what we need to do now is get it on the runway and let's fly it.
The plane is looking absolutely amazing. Just like the real thing. It's powered by electricity. It's gone digital because there's a camera on board where the pilot would normally sit. And I just can't wait to see it airborne.
It's illegal to fly a model aircraft outdoors without being a qualified operator. So we're handing over the controls to one of the best model pilots around, Ben Shears.
Hey, mate, you all right?
Right, are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, no pressure, mate. Whoa!
Oh, it's a bit shaky. Oh, look at that.
It's in the air. That's all we wanted, right?
Yes!
We go out now. Right.
Wow!
Now you just got to land it, Ben. Look at it go.
It's cute. Oh, it's really happy in the air.
Wow. Oh, I wish Ivan was here to see it. He'd be so happy.
Ivan would be so proud of you guys. It looks a bit wobbly in the air, but it's staying up there. It looks happy. It might be wobbling because of the actual controls of it, but it looks really good up there.
But it turns out there was more to that wobbliness than I thought.
Oh, it's taking a bit of a dive. Oh. Ah.
Oh, I've lost everything.
Oh.
It's gone. Bye.
Ah.
Oh!
Oh no!
That's a long way to run.
Where's it
Oh. Its wing's a bit wobbly. Oh, that's our propeller.
So it was flying really, really well.
It actually got off the ground.
Yeah.
It did a couple of laps.
Quite a few laps.
And then came crashing down in quite spectacular fashion.
Well, it's definitely hit it. That's took the impact there.
Yeah.
I think we lost the controls.
Yeah.
Well, I think there was just some form of some interference or something.
We were so lucky, actually, because that could have been even worse.
It got airborne. We managed to completely replicate the Luton Minor, which was the original brief. We modernised it. I think we should all be really proud. It took off so smoothly, so beautifully. It did a few loops. It did what we set it out to do. And you know what? You learn so much from your failures. So overall, this was a roaring success.